In this week's Torah portion, Emor, we're learning a whole lot about the Kohenites, right? What they can do, what they can't do, how they dress, how they shave, who they marry. What can I tell you? I read Parashat Emor, and you can't help but feel a little bit, it's not fair. Judaism wasn't meant to be this way. Judaism wasn't meant to be like this spiritual system of hierarchy. Right, a hierarchy where there are the good ones, the Kohenites and the Levites, right? Kohenites come from the Levite tribe, and the high priest, and then us, the Israelites, right? Why this hierarchical system, which creates unnecessary jealousy and so on and so forth. And then quickly remind ourselves why this happened. This wasn't meant to be. It's because of the sin of the golden calf, right? Before the sin of the golden calf, God's plan was that the firstborn of each tribe was meant to serve God. And that would have been perfect, right? Because each tribe would have been equally chipping into the holy duty, and there'd be no, spiritual castes and hierarchy and unnecessary jealousy. However, we are told that there was one tribe that did not sin in the sin of the golden calf, and that is the Levites, right? As a result, God had to change the plan. The Levites then become the tribe that are going to worship God, and out of them come the Kohenites. Now you've got to ask yourself, was that really a good idea? Should God really have done that? Didn't God know that this would create jealousy throughout generations? Right? A read of the prophets and all the holy books and Jewish history teaches us that there have been so many strifes and battles between Kohenites, who's going to be the holy priest, and between other tribes who want to be Kohenites because it's a lucrative position. Was that really the best solution? Right, to create this spiritual hierarchy which causes jealousy. I think there's one word in this week's Torah portion which teaches us perhaps why God didn't have a choice, and it leads us also to thoughts of what's going to happen in the future. When we learn about what a Kohenite can and can't do, a word that reappears time and again in this week's Torah portion is the word chilul, lechalel, to desecrate. And when we think about it, to desecrate perhaps is the exact opposite of to be kadosh, to be holy. Right, we learned last week that someone holy is someone who differentiates. Right, to be holy is to differentiate because we are differentiating between what is good and bad, what is holy and what is pure and impure, and that's the whole purpose of creation, perhaps, and what we're meant to do. God chose us to differentiate us, and so on and so forth. So a desecrator, a mechalel, is someone who mingles and mixes between pure and impure, does the exact opposite, right, which is getting us further away from the happily ever after. And therefore, perhaps God didn't have a choice. Once the Levites are the only ones who do not desecrate, right? They were, in essence, pure, holy, by differentiating, by not worshipping to the golden calf, and the Israelites did. There was no going back. So it had to happen, perhaps. But then what's going to happen along the line? Think about Judaism. Judaism, we have embedded in our DNA the system of thought of what it means to be Jewish. We have this system, this unfortunate spiritual hierarchy of Kohenites, the high priests, Levites, and then the Israelites. Does it always have to be this way? I'm not going to think of, where there's going to be a holy temple or not going to be a holy temple down the line, but is there perhaps a way to change the system of spiritual hierarchy? Does it mean perhaps what we need to be doing is concentrating on what it means to be holy, kadosh, and how to veer away from chilul, from desecration, by differentiating between what is pure and impure? To this question I don't have an answer, and that is, what will it look like down the line? Will this idea of Kohenite, Levite, and Israelite change and perhaps be shattered into something more unified? Thoughts on Emor, on differentiation and desecration. Shabbat Shalom.